have a strong, confident adult that's ready for society, you know. However, if you don't, if that child, that adolescent in a home experiencing mental, it may be a history of mental illness. That mom may be bipolar, that dad may be bipolar. It's a lot of things that are generational. A lot of things that kids are suffering from within the home. It may be poverty. It's a lot of different things that kids are going through in the home that make them contemplate suicide. You know, but once we get aware of that situation, we try to make sure that we do what we're supposed to do on our end to protect that particular child. Even though it's a home issue, we want to make sure we provide you with the resources to make sure that you're strong enough for society, that you don't commit suicide, you know.
What is your advice to parents that may be going through a situation like that, where they may be experiencing poverty, or you know, maybe a social or mental issue that's going on with them, but they're afraid to talk to anybody, and they're unaware, because a lot of times parents think that the issues that they're facing either don't phase their children, or they think their kid can handle it. Oh, they all right. They all right. You know. But how can they, you know, how can you encourage them to accept help? Because sometimes it's a pride thing. I don't want nobody to know that, you know, I'm living like this, or I got this going on in my life.
Me personally, this is my own personal opinion. What I would do is I would give them the consequences of not getting help. You know, I really want to encourage you to get help, because if you do not get help as a result of not getting help, A, B, C, or D may happen. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And so now, and I think a lot of times African Americans have been taught that we don't seek counseling. It's a Caucasian thing. However, we need to do away with that myth. My thing is, I feel like, yes, you should get spiritual counseling. You go to your pastor, your co-pastor, and you get the spiritual counseling that you need. However, we need to go ahead and get the professional help that they need as well. Yes. And I think that's one issue as well, is because they've been taught that we as a society, black people, we don't go get counseling. That's somebody else's issue. We don't do that. But we need to just break that cycle right now. And if you're in need of help, that you need to seek out and get the help that you need, because that help, and like I said, in my opinion, it can prevent suicide. It can prevent this. It can prevent that if you seek out for help. If they come out and say, some of them have come and say, I don't have anywhere to stay. We've been staying in my car. We've been staying with a friend of mine, and there's already 8-10 people in that household. Then once you come in and tell us what's going on, Mobile County Public School System have different resources in place to assist that student, to make sure that they get the proper education that they need, to make sure that their needs are being met. So I just encourage everyone, forget pride. You have your life, your children's lives, you know, come and get help. We're here to help you. Everyone is not against you.
Yeah, sometimes they feel like if I say anything, they're going to take my child. You're going to put you in a home if you go to school and tell these folks, you know, because I've heard people say that, you know. So how do you handle a situation like that?
Well, like when I work for DHR and Child Protective Services, it's been some years ago, but when I was there, the ultimate goal was to preserve the family. They wasn't out there just trying to remove kids from parents. The ultimate goal was preservation. And within that situation, they provided the resources to help you be successful, to help meet your needs. So a lot of times I would tell them that your children would not be removed. Well, that's not the intent anyway. We want to make sure we provide you the resources to be that good parent. We want to provide you the resources so you will have a roof over your head. You will have food in your stomach. You know, we want your family to maintain a family unit. We don't want to separate you all. We want to provide you with the counseling that you need. Wow. To get the mental health, you know, those concerns addressed.
Wow. Let's take a quick break right here. I know we're past our commercial break. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to continue this issue on issues that kids are facing today. Stay tuned.
What's up, everybody? Trey here to tell you about one of the best gym experiences in Mobile, Embrace Fitness Training Center. Embrace Fitness is more than just a gym. We offer personal training, speed and agility training, golf simulator, golf fitness, boot camp classes, childcare, and even powerlifting. We're open Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We love families, and kids are welcome. At Embrace Fitness, we believe that a family that works out together will stay together and live healthier and happier lives. So embrace the new you. We're located on Airport Boulevard near Cody Road. Try Embrace Fitness Training Center today. Your first visit is on me.
Princess Creative Productions can provide affordable and professional video services for small to mid-sized businesses. Our in-studio virtual set shoots start as low as $200. Let our expert get to work on your next video project. Call 251-421-4490 to book your next shoot.
And we're back on the Color Outside the Box podcast talking about issues that kids are facing today with Miss Keirston Gaines. Now, we talked about bullying. We've talked about mental health and poverty. But let's talk about drugs. Because a lot of times parents are unaware of what's going on with drugs in the school system or drugs, kids with drugs, period. My son went to private school his 6th grade year. His 7th grade year, I put him in public school, and he had a kid that was coming to school high, on weed and was huffing gas. Talk to us about some of these things that kids are dealing with as far as drugs are concerned, because sometimes parents are totally unaware of what their kids are getting into.
Drug usage is a concern, especially in middle and high school. A lot of them are smoking marijuana, and some of them are smoking a synthetic type drug as well as vaping. There have been a lot of deaths related to vaping. If we're aware of a student that's under the influence of drugs, we do try to get them the help that they need.
So, I really want to hear your opinion on this drug issue. I know you've seen a lot of things in the school system. I can remember when my kids were in elementary school, and there was this car in front of us, and the car had the loud music, and kid get out and smoke coming out with the kid. And I heard a teacher say, they're in there getting high. They're in there smoking weed, taking a kid to school, unaware that their kid is inhaling, because they got the windows up, inhaling that smoke, and they don't understand the effects that they have on a child that's coming to learn. Talk to us about some things that you may have seen in the school system or that you may have dealt with, whether it's, I know you mentioned vaping. A lot of times people are unaware that vaping is very detrimental to teenagers. There have been teens that died, vaping. Synthetic drugs, you mentioned that earlier. Synthetic marijuana. There have been kids that died, using that stuff.
Throughout the years, I have witnessed a lot of different things as far as drugs and students being under the influence of drugs, whether it be marijuana, alcohol, or either the popping of illegal pills. A lot of times parents, when the kids come in with their eyes low, red, and oftentimes the scent of marijuana, either the synthetic type of drug that they're using, is on them. Also, if you check their belongings, because a lot of times the seeds or the residue is in their book bags. It's if you're washing clothes at home, it's in their pants pockets. So make sure you're mindful. Actually, even their peers that they're hanging with, be mindful of who you allow your kids to associate with. And like you said, the smoking in the car. First of all, I want to commend all the parents who are doing a great job. I know all parents are not bad parents, but the ones who are doing what they're supposed to do as far as their parental duties, I commend you. Job well done. However, by the same token, I have witnessed a lot of parents that actually get high with their kids.
What?
Right. So, in that case, it's kind of it's unfortunate and it's difficult, but we have to have a conversation with that parent as well.
And I guess, when you bring up topics, things like that, it causes us to really, look at ourselves and make sure that we're doing everything that we're supposed to do. I know you may say as a parent, well, hey, I ain't going to be getting high with my child, but there may be something else. I remember in our generation growing up, it was okay for some kids to drink beer with their dads. In fact, some dads saw it as a rite of passage. So now it's smoking, it's doing drugs together. Wow. I did not know that. Yeah. Well, we have come to the end of this show, and this has been a really good show. Thank you so much, Keirston, for being a part of today's show. We got 2 more shows. I want you to stay tuned for the next 2 Mondays, because we got some more issues we're going to be diving into. So, again, this is Princess Miller with the Color Outside the Box podcast. Stay tuned, and I'll see you next week.
Color Outside the Box is a podcast series that focuses on creating a better you. Whether it's advice about family, relationships, raising children in this technological world, marriage, or careers, we seek to find the answers to help you live your best life. So start your Monday morning off right with me, your hostess with the mostest, Princess Miller, on Color Outside the Box right here on iTunes and everywhere podcasts can be heard.